Hey everyone, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC chess collection review. Number 21 in line, Huntress. Huntress is a character that I read a couple of comics that she's in and very much enjoyed her character, and I think the first time that I came across this character was the Hush comics. I've already mentioned Hush comics and said about how it was one of the greatest graphic novels that I had read. It's one that I will constantly go back to, along with Killing Joke and Lovers and Madmen. Lovers and Madmen, it is that, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the name. A mental block there. But Hush is definitely one of my favourite graphic novels. And yeah, Huntress comes up in that at the very, very beginning when Batman is injured in the alleyway and Oracle is calling out, is there anyone that can go and help him? And Huntress is saying, I'm nearby. And then Oracle's saying, is there anyone else that could go? And she turns up and starts to save Batman as he's laid there pretty much unable to do anything. And even while he's laid there, he's still critical of what she's doing. She's using too much energy, always, you know, not thinking of the big picture. And all. I haven't read it for a while, so I can't remember his exact words, but very critical of her moves. And I thought it's really funny that this character, who I'd not heard of before, appears, tries to save you, and you're still not impressed with the way she's doing it. I just found that really cool. And then the second time that I read a comic that she was in was No Man's Land, and I really enjoyed that comic series. And Huntress in that, I found her character a lot more fleshed out than what I'd read before, because obviously in Hush she's only in a couple of pages, she's not really a big influential part of the story, but in No Man's Land she has a very strong story arc where she tries to take on the persona of Batgirl, but Batman sees through it straight away, lets her get away with it until she takes it too far, and then he kind of reins her in and says, well, that's not how we do things around here. And I've always kind of enjoyed that side, that clash that Huntress obviously has with Batman. So then when I read this magazine and found out that Huntress is actually Batman's daughter, that was a curveball for me. That was where I read it and went, wow, didn't know that. Because the thing with DC for me is I really don't like all these alternate universes that they have. Batman is this in this universe, but here's a Batman from a different universe where this happens, and here's and it's too complex to just pick up a comic or a novel or something and just get into it. You know, you have to know everything about Infinite Crisis and dimensional worlds, and that really puts me off DC. That's the one thing that really does put me off. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that this was that Huntress is Batman's daughter, and it's kind of a cool twist, if you like, kind of a cool sort of idea to it. So yeah, that made me look back on everything I'd read in No Man's Land and in the Hush and so on, and made you see it in a completely different light, which I really liked. A second thing that I really looked forward to about this chess piece was the fact it was the first Rook that we would get, and I was very excited to see how they would design the base to represent a Rook. And obviously we'd had the kings and the queens and the bishops and the knights before, but we haven't had a Rook until 21 figures later. And so yeah, I was very excited to see what it looked like, and I can just simply say right now I was not disappointed. And we'll move into the figure and we'll find out why. And here we have the piece itself, and as you can see, the Rook base is pretty much a Rook stood on, almost as if the character is stood on top of the Rook piece itself, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We'll get to this last though, and first of all we'll move into the Huntress figure, and I absolutely adore this figure. I just think, I don't know if it's the fact it's black and purple, and I've just always liked the way that black and purple look together. I don't know if it's that, but it just captures the character of Huntress so well. There's so many little tiny intricate details about this that have been done so well. One of them, ironically enough for mine anyway, is the eyes. I think, move back a little bit, I think the eyes on this are a fantastic paint, very nicely done, and very nicely kind of lined up. just too, I mean, obviously, as we've said throughout this line, the eyes are very much hit and miss, but on this one, they've done a very, very good job. Very, very beautiful. I'm not particularly too keen on the mouth. There's nothing exactly wrong with it. I just personally don't like it. I find it's a bit too pouty, a bit too full-lipped. It just doesn't quite go right for me, but that's just a personal nitpick. The mask that she has is very, very nice, exactly as it looks in the comics and so on, with this mask leading up to these kind of, I don't even know what these would be called, but I mean, it's a completely different line, but these are almost like Thor's, kind of like the wings on top of Thor's helmet from Marvel. But yeah, I really do like that. And then we go through to the back here for her hair. Very, very nicely styled and detailed, flowing down her back, and then you have this kind of curl coming across her eye at the top. Very, very nice detail on the face. As I say, it's just really her mouth that I'm not particularly keen on. We have her here obviously with her signature crossbow, and we have like one hand on it almost as if she's cocking it ready to load, and then one hand holding it, and some very nice detail in here with the hands and the fingers, and just some very, I mean, the intricate detail on here with these fingers and thumb holding onto the crossbow. Very, very nicely done. And then we have like a shoulder pad where the cape connects onto the shoulders. Some really nice white detailing down her torso there, and the purple belt, which kind of has these bits firing off for holsters and things like that. Just some very, very nice detail and very nice paintwork on there. And then obviously we'll go around to a holster, and it does actually have like a hole in the top there, as if the holster, as if the crossbow could actually go into there. Very impressive. And down to her boots as well, which again, just some beautiful paintwork, beautiful metallic sort of purple along with the black. And then I do like as well how the cape is a different shade. It's not quite the metallic purple that we have throughout. It's a different sort of shade, just to differentiate against all the metallic purple that we get. So it is a very, very nicely detailed, very nicely painted piece. At least mine is. I mean, obviously there'll be some out there that won't be as well detailed, but I think I've got a very, very nice one here. Very, very nice. As I say, her mouth just really does put me off. It's probably the one thing on it that I don't particularly like. But now we'll go to the Rook piece itself, and obviously we have the ridges that the Rook is famous for. And I think safely, apart from the pawns and possibly the king and the queens as well, this gives it a very, very defining feature. There's no way you could mistake this for being any other piece apart from the Rook. You know, it's one of the more, I think out of all of them, to be honest, even including the kings and the queens, it's one of the few ones where it's unmistakable what this is. I think the only exception with the pawns, with them being a lot smaller, you kind of know what they are, but this, it's just very, very nice. And then we have this beautiful kind of archway going all the way around this, and obviously with the Rook piece there. A very, very nice design. I do very much like it. So yeah, I was very impressed with this, and also the paintwork on this as well. I mean, obviously with some of them we've been hit and miss, but this is a very nice, the black, the silver and so on, and it's just been painted very well. So as you can probably tell, overall with this figure, both with the Rook base and also with the Huntress itself, very, very impressed. I think this is possibly one of the greatest ones that they've done. Only a few exceptions to it, I think, like Commissioner Gordon, and I'm trying to remember another one where I said Commissioner Gordon was definitely one. I can't remember any others at the moment, but that is, it's just a very, very nice and standout and well painted, well designed figure that's just kind of made this line. It's very, very nice. Very much like it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, everyone. Take care. I shall be coming back again for the next one very soon, but until then, see you soon. Bye.